event. So thank you to each of you for being here tonight, and thank you to our finalists as well. So welcome to Spark. My name is Mary Lois Volka.
And I'm Ashley Moore, and we are part of the leadership team for Check Yes.
And we'll be your MCs for tonight. Before we get started, just a few thank yous are in order. First of all, we want to thank Business on Stage for giving us their stage for tonight for us to take over for YP Week. Business on Stage hosts quarterly presentations of local business owners. In the past, they've done things like local foods, deconstructing the construction biz, and they have a couple of events upcoming as well, so mark your calendars. July 25th will be locally owned veteran businesses, and then October 24th, that one is still to be determined, but go ahead and mark your calendars for Business on Stage, and thank you again to that group for letting Check Yes take over for YP Week this year.
So before we move on, who has a cell phone? Pull it up. We want you to go to Facebook and check in to the Check Yes event tonight so that we can see who attended. And then once you've done that, like our Facebook page if you haven't already, and then turn your cell phone off, please. We don't want cell phones going off during the presentations for the finalists because that could be distracting.
So a little bit about our group. We're called Check Yes. We're a young professional group of the Chequamegon Bay. We recently changed our name so that instead of being just young professionals, we're more about being open to the entire community. And it's great to see everybody here tonight. So our group, excuse me, we hold events to foster community connections towards action, action, education, and play. Excuse me. And again, as Ashley said, you can check us out on Facebook, and then also our website is checkyes.com. So all of our events and anything you need to know about us can be found there.
We, as Check Yes, are participating in YP Week, which is a nationwide celebration of young professionals that's taking place right now this week. And over the week, we have lots of fun, exciting events planned, including the one tonight. Last night, we packed 100 boxes for local troops that are deployed overseas. We had 31 volunteers show up to help pack boxes, as well as fill out the horrendous customs forms. Inside the boxes, we had hygiene products, trinkle sausage, decks of playing cards, as well as really cute little notes from the local elementary school students. Those kids have huge hearts. It was really cute. We couldn't have done that event without the help of our community. We had the local Chequamegon Veterans Center let us use their space, and we also had sponsors, Ashland Rotary, Trinco Sausage, as well as Thriving Financial. So we really appreciate their help. And tomorrow night you can join us at HPL for trivia at 7 p.m. It's Princess Bride. Watch the movie tonight if you're not so caught up on those events. And then Saturday, we'll be closing out the week with a little party. It's called the Wisco Experience, so think everything Wisconsin. Live music by Hoff Stevens, beer cheese soup by Deepwater Grill, brats from 6th Street Market, cheese curds from Benoit Cheese, Pringles with Tetner's ice cream, and so much more. So come dressed with your favorite Scotty outfit on. Tickets are $20 each or 2 for $30. You can buy them at the Check Yes booth, or you can buy them on our website at checkyes.com. If you haven't stepped out to our booth yet, make sure to meet the rest of our leadership team. They're wearing little badges that say Check Yes Leadership on them. And sign up for our email list, as well as check out our upcoming events for the summer.
So now let's get to it. Let's get to Spark. We're excited to bring this event to the community, and we're really thrilled at the community support we've seen, not only from you all showing up, but from our sponsors as well. It just proves that the Chequamegon Bay is really a great place to live, work, and play.
We had 18 local entrepreneurs apply to participate in tonight's event, and let me tell you, it was super hard to narrow it down to 6 finalists, so congratulations.
I want to take a moment to thank the sponsors for tonight: Wisconsin Indian Head Technical College, St. Luke's Schwaming Clinic, Daryl Joma State Farm, and Northland Lawn and Sport. We also had several companies donate incredible services for the winners tonight, including Busy Does It, Hawkins Law Office, the Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Development, and Thrivent Financial. We also had the huge honor of having the UW Superior Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Development join us as our presenting sponsor tonight. So with that, I would like to hand it over to Andy for just a little bit. Will you hand that mic there? I'm not gonna just slide that. It should be on actually.
That's good. Thank you. Again, my name is Andy Donahue. I'm the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Development and Small Business Development Center at the University of Wisconsin-Superior. First of all, thank you to the Check Yes group. I think they deserve a round of applause for this. Mary Lois told me that we're going to have 160 people. My first thought was, how are they going to fit 160 people in the room? But we have literally a standing room only, so thank you to all that came. On behalf of the judges, congratulations to the finalists. So congratulations, we look forward to your business pitch competition tonight. Congratulations to all of those that applied for the event. Entrepreneurship is one of those things that our communities are based on. We really are looking forward to supporting these entrepreneurs, supporting our local businesses. Is Mary Method at all?
She's not.
She's not. As Mary would say, always shop local, shop often, I believe. So, no matter what the outcome is tonight, support these entrepreneurs, support these small businesses that we have in the area. They are the ones that make our communities thrive and grow from today and beyond. So, thank you again to the YP group, or Check Yes group now, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I think let's get to it for Spark.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Andy.
Okay, so here's how things are going to work. We have 6 finalists presenting tonight. They're in the front row here. And they'll be presenting their pitch for their business in the Schwamingen Bay. We'll introduce each finalist one at a time. They'll each get 5 minutes to present, tell us about their business, and give us a pitch of why we should vote for them. Each presentation will be followed by 5 minutes of Q&A. The judges will get the microphone first to ask their questions, and then if there's any time remaining, we'll open it up to the audience to ask questions. So I'll first take a minute to introduce the judges panel. So we already heard from Andy Donahue, UW Superior Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Development. Then we have Hector Guana. He is representing Daryl Joma State Farm. Then we have Denise Cotney, manager of St. Luke's Schwamingen Clinic. In the back row we have Jeff Rather, and he is with Northland Lawn Sport and Equipment. And then we have Bambi Patterman, and she is with Wisconsin Indian Head Technical College. For the voting, each judge will get 1 vote.
And the audience gets to vote as well. However, your vote will cumulatively count for 1. So make sure everybody got a ballot. Did everybody get a ballot? If not, see Kelly. Kelly, raise your hand if you were in the room. She might have stepped out. Anyways, we'll find Kelly if you need a ballot, or Melissa right there. Yeah. So if you need a ballot, see one of the Check Yes leadership team members. We will tally the votes tonight, and the winner will go home with $5,000 and a really, really nice winner's package, which includes branding and marketing from Busy Does It, legal consultation from Hawkins Law Office, entrepreneurial consultation from the Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Development, and financial planning from Thrivent Financial. We want to wish each of our finalists good luck.
So with that, we are thrilled to introduce our first finalist, which happens to be a really great duo. Great Lakes Deli, Joe and Alana Belanger. Great Lakes Deli's goal is to provide the Ashland, Wisconsin community with a farm-to-table scratch-style deli and soup shop. Great Lakes Deli would ultimately use as many local farms and businesses in the area and or throughout Wisconsin. So let's welcome Alana and Joe.
Can everybody hear me? Good? I am Alana Belanger. This is my husband, Joe. Joe had an idea for many years now about opening themed deli. So today we are here to present you with our version of Great Lakes Deli for the Ashland area.
So like my wife said, the idea came from, I used to work out in New York, and they used to have a bunch of these old delicatessen shops where the meat would hang from the ceiling, stuff like that. There was fresh cannolis up front. The food was just always phenomenal. So I kind of got that idea from there. Like I said in the beginning, what Ashley said, our idea is to be as much local food as we can, farm to table. I think we have a lot of good food options in the area, but I think that's one of the things we really lack around here. Not only outside of that, but there's things that, everything's scratch. I think a lot of things get lost in the food industry these days where corners get cut and stuff comes out of the box. So that's one thing. Provide it in the deli style, so it's sandwiches, wraps, stuff like that, and then we're going to possibly have other products for sale. We'll talk about that a little bit. One of the huge things I think for any business is to be fully integrated in the community, work with other local businesses, just get involved in any way, shape, or form you can. Another huge thing for us is always keep pushing the boundaries of deli. Complacency, I think, is one of the things that always kills businesses. Like I said, community is a huge thing to me and my wife. 40% of the food that gets made for consumption each year annually in the United States goes to waste. I think that's a huge thing for anybody in the food industry or any like manufacturing thing is find ways to reduce that. So we thought a good way to do that is possible work with homeless shelters, food banks, we have a brick locally, just stuff like that, like we're not wasting any food. Local sporting events, activities, I think youth activities are a big thing. So like any tournament that would go on, see if we could provide sandwiches for that. And another thing is work with local businesses that are already up and running. Sandwiches are a cool thing and all that, but I mean, we're not looking to reinvent the wheel, so if somebody already makes good bread, don't try to do that, so.
So potential products, we would have standard subs, paninis, and wraps. We'd probably have 4, 5, 6 with standard sandwiches that we'd have. We'd have a rotating daily special, and then ability to create your own sub or panini or wrap, however you would like. Soups, Joe's really good at and big into making soups, so we'd have a rotating selection with that, all made in-house, scratch. Meats and cheeses, we're not in the cheese business, so we probably buy local and slice, so you can buy a pound of cheese or however much you'd like. Meats made in-house, we're thinking of like pastrami's, salamis, making that in-house. Desserts, mostly made in-house. Ice cream too, Tetris is a great thing. We would not try to outdo that by any means, so work with them. And then craft beer and soda is something we'd like to have in-house. What winning could do, if not used for a possible down payment on a location, we would put it towards equipment purchases. Grinders, deli slices, display cases, fridges, mini grills, flat top grills. This is a beginning step for us, so completion would be probably 2 to 4 years out as soon as we find a location, renovate and get everything set up. That is our deli.
If I was considering investing in your business, think of this kind of like a Shark Tank question. Why would I do that if your plan is pretty far out yet? You don't have a location. You don't seem to have the finances right now to do it without perhaps using some of the winnings to do that. What more can you tell me about that, and how likely is it that you're even going to do this?
We're very serious in doing this. We have 2 locations that we are considering. With that, the winning we had down payments. We don't have a lot for capitalization right now.
It's one of those things too, as any business venture comes with high risk. I think think we're very passionate about this. It's a thing that's going to happen. It just may not be tomorrow, but it's coming up.
If I was to just follow up on that a little bit further, a lot of startup businesses, one of their reasons for failure is underfunded. What would encourage me to believe that you're not going to be underfunded and that this is a pretty logical step?
I guess that would come probably more from knowing us a little bit better. Yeah, I think you talk to anybody that probably knows my wife and I really good. We don't do things at half pace or half-hearted. It's all in or nothing. So I think one of the things is we would move forward unless the means were there.
Yeah, that's why we say 2 to 4 years. We want to make sure we have all our ducks in a row. We don't want to rush in and then close our doors 3 weeks later. We want to plan and be strategic about it and make sure that we are ready to go. So when doors open, it's a long-lasting business.
Have you considered crowdfunding?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you considered crowdfunding?
Crowdfunding? We have not. It's not something that eventually we have looked on.
How could you test your idea prior to opening a restaurant? Before you self-invest into a bigger location or equipment?
I think one of the things is always we have loads of friends and family. I don't think any of the things that we have will require an overabundance of like a huge kitchen. It's probably stuff that you could test at home or somewhere. But I don't think it would require an actual facility. So.
Are you guys gonna be the ones cooking, or how many employees do you plan on hiring, or
Right now,
are your
we're
thoughts on that?
Right now, we're both working full-time jobs. But yes, we would have employees. I think we would both be there pretty much the majority of the time. We would be highly involved in our business. I can't say that we would.
Employees, maybe 3 to 5, depending, how it goes. That would be a trial and error thing. If we could get by with 2 great employees, great. If it takes 3 or more, that's something we'd have to look at when we get to that stage. But it would be mostly during day hours be ran by employees.
So you planning on keeping your job and running the business at the same time?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you answered my question by saying, how many employees, but like how many days of the week are you planning on being open, and like what would your hours be?
It would be mostly lunch and dinner service. We would not open for breakfast. I would.
About 11 to 8 probably. So people can get dinner all the way up to then. I think
Monday,
Monday through Saturday.
Yeah, maybe close one day a week, but that would be determined at a later date. Yeah, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, you gotta keep it short.
Yeah.
So compared to other like businesses in the area, other bars, restaurants, delis, what makes you unique?
We would not be, nothing against Costco, but we would really try to be scratch, farm to table, not bringing in processed products that come from a freezer bag. We really would like to stay fresh.
Good.
I think we have to give them another round of applause because they have a week and a half old baby. All right, next up we have West 905, Brian Howe. West 905 is a freshly renovated pizzeria, restaurant, and pub in Washburn, Wisconsin. Eat in, order out, or enjoy our delivery service of inspired appetizers, creative new sandwiches, premier entrees, or roaster pizzas and sweet desserts.
Thanks, Ashley.
Hi. I've always loved cooking food. My fate wasn't sealed though until one day in April in study hall, and I'm not going to tell you what year. But if you pay close attention and you listen, you'll be able to do the math. And my buddy Adam, without even looking up from his daily press newspaper, said 3 words that would change my life forever. I think just about all of us can look back at one or more moments in our lives that have changed our direction. Well, what did Adam say? Country kitchens hiring. Next thing you know, I'm at Country Kitchen washing dishes, and eventually I was the assistant unit manager. After my 12 years there, I moved on to the Deepwater Grill to improve my knowledge and skills. I learned so much working alongside guys from all over the country with unique backgrounds. I learned so much with these fellas and became a sous chef in those 11 and a half years before taking the step up to executive chef at the Bad River Casino. I loved that gig. Doing buffets and specials, it was so rewarding. However, in only half a year, I got pulled away by Northland College for a 3-year tour. What a wildly customized job this is. I work in a company that feeds 10 million meals a day globally. But the mega corporate structure is consistently being challenged there. Many of you know we have a unique liberal arts campus, committed to wholesome local foods. The other restaurants I've worked at, I've engaged about 2 to 3 food distributors a week. At Northland, I deal with about 15. That's a lot of networking right in our area. After all these wonderful years of building, I would love nothing more than to open the door to a new dining experience. So come with me to a log cabin restaurant building at 905 West Bayfield Street in Washburn, Wisconsin. As we make our way into the northeast entrance, you'll be greeted by a fresh open bar concept. The decor may appear like an industrial renaissance, maybe steampunk. Welcome to West 905 and Neary's Pub. Here's Neary. Enjoy a seasonal beverage, nestle up to the new bar, or relax at one of our high-top tables. This is my grandfather right here. He was a fine cook and a former Ashland bar owner at the Barrel Inn, known as Club Rainier's. When you're ready, enter our newly remodeled dining area. This is where I'd like to invest the prize money from tonight's event. I'm going to be installing a custom partition wall with a built-in wine cellar cabinet. We'll also be doing walls with built-in chalkboards, new track lighting, and the seating will be set with chairs at tables, but also some benches along the walls to allow us to sneak in a few extra hungry friends. This dining room is why I need your vote tonight. Thanks. So grab a seat, have another drink as you peruse our appetizer menu. You'll see some good old classics like hand-cut fries, chicken wings, buttery French bread for dipping, and cheese curds. But we want you to try some items you don't always get everywhere else, like bison meatballs, oysters on the half-shell, calamari, sauteed trout cheeks from Lake Superior, and our own duck egg popovers. We've got a full sandwich board to select from with tavern battered cod from Bodine's, tavern battered trout from Bodine's, bruschetta chicken on sourdough, our stuffed crust pastrami Reuben sandwich, the big old bacon cheddar burger on a pretzel roll. Or look to our entrees, pasta, ribs, steaks, some seafood. Now that you've ordered, you can take a moment to observe the updated dining room. Hardwood partition wine rack, wall art, chalk reader boards, and my personal favorite, the local memorabilia of all the Bay Area, Ashland, Washburn, Bayfield, Onondaga. That's why the bacon double cheddar is named the Big 80 Burger for Onondaga. But what does Washburn really need from me? They already have great restaurants there. But who offers to feed a group of a dozen for $50? That's not easy. But folks, this kitchen is practically ready to plug and play as a restaurant and as a pizzeria. So that's what we're going to do. Pizzas, 10-inch, 12, 14, 16, 20. We'll have classics, and of course we'll borrow some creative ideas and certainly create some of our own. This is where Andy and the 6th Street Market meat gurus can step in and help me build our signature cured pepperoni, Italian sausage, ground beef blends, among limitless other items. And we'll keep brainstorming and taking in the feedback. Andy has fun, and I feed off that great energy he's got. Another service Washburn hasn't got delivery. We'll bring dinner to your door, or pull your boat up to the marina, and we'll run a few sandwiches out there too. One of the most exciting projects to me is going to be walk-in Wednesdays. Walk down, bike in, pull your kids in the radio flyer, do whatever, just don't drive, and we'll get you a nice discount on your Wednesday meal. Community and people here have to be priority number one. So we want to focus on your well-being and happiness. Looking forward to spending special days together, birthdays, Valentine's, anniversaries, wedding rehearsal dinners, and receptions. Thanks for your time this evening. Enjoy the rest of it, and I can't wait to see you all at West 905 at Neary's Pub.
did mention, and I didn't catch how long you've been open, and one of the categories that we're evaluating for is growth, not only in the community, but for yourself, and include in your answer, if you would, number of employment jobs, employees in your 5-year plan.
Did you ask how long I've been open?
Yes.
Oh, this is a concept so far. I've been working at other restaurants for a number of years, and yeah, the intention is to have 15 plus employees.
So did you have a lease location in mind already or not?
Yeah, the 905 West Bayfield Street in Washburn, formerly West Bayfield.
And where are you with that lease? Are you negotiating? Are you not that far? Is it just a concept?
It's a concept. I've been working with investors. I've visited with realtors a few times and did inventory and stock on things and took down all the dimensions and started putting on paper.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like you have a few supporters here. So when it comes to restaurants, bars, and like that, you know, the financial projections are really important on the marketability and how well you can cash flow. Tell me about, you know, where you are in your revenue projections versus your expenses and how you're going to make income and cash flow year after year.
Okay, well, I'm fortunate to have access to some of the prior owners' information. I don't have definitive projections for those numbers yet, so I understand where that question's coming from. I've always worked on a basis of trying to reach certain levels of like 30% on food costs and 35% on labor, and working those numbers in.
Is this a venture that you're going in by yourself, or do you have some partners or other friends that are in on your concept?
Well, if you're not busy. Right now it's me, but I've been doing this in this area for a lot of years, and I have a lot of people that I think are pretty pumped up to get involved too.
Especially in smaller communities, really any community, collaboration is really important for other businesses to be successful. Tell me how you can collaborate with other local businesses for your venture.
Wow, there's a lot of that. I'm wearing some Busy Does It right now, actually. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Becky, wherever you are. And yeah, like I said, Andy at 6th Street Market is going to be pretty instrumental for me. And then beyond that, we'll just kind of go around. Look, I'm working with lots of farmers at Northland College right now, so that's a pretty cool thing. And I know what I like and how I can pick and choose through those guys a little bit as the time comes nearer.
Are you gonna be the one cooking?
I want to do as much cooking as possible. Yeah, there will be different stations for cooks to be set at, and you probably know how that is. But yeah, I'd like to be doing the stuff that let somebody else do pizzas and fryer, and I would get to doing grilling and sauteing, those kinds of things.
Does the audience have any questions?
Right up front.
Can I use the microphone?
Darn it.
If you are awarded this prize, how long do you project that it would take for you to open up and be going?
I feel like because the place seems to be very, very close to ready to plug and play, like I said, there's a lot of equipment in place. All you're missing is a dish machine, which you can rent, and also if you want to have a little freezer on the line by the fryer. And then you just have to decide, going through with these renovations like I'm talking about, how much you need to put into that. I feel like it's a 5 or 6 month thing. He probably doesn't need the money.
It's gonna take me the time to walk more.
Okay.
Well, you're looking at putting up a restaurant in one of the most precious areas of the world right here in Schwabing Bay. How would your restaurant minimalize waste, and would you be considering investing in like biodegradable products and such and forth?
Less than 10 seconds.
Well, it's absolutely a consideration. Yeah, we've done that at the Deepwater Grill before, and it's heavily worked at the college. So I'm really familiar with doing a lot of things composting and buying those biodegradable products. And of course, being local.
Real quick before I introduce the next one, we just have a little safety concern with the people standing. So if you have chairs open next to you, if you could raise your hand, and folks that are standing, I know maybe you want to stand, but we need people to sort of sit down so that the walkways are clear. So if you guys could take seats, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you guys. Okay. Next up, we have Project North, Brian Rashke. Climbing represents a community dedicated to helping each other work on big projects and solving hard problems. Our business offers instruction and access to inspiration, achievement, and helpful lifestyle climbing, a helpful lifestyle climbing affords. At Project North, it is our mission to provide a space for communities to gather, collaborate, and play.
Hello, my name is Ryan Rashke, and I represent Project North, a climbing center and community play space in Wisconsin's Chicago Bay. 887 billion. Well, that's a big number. What if I told you that number represents an industry that the Bureau of Economic Analysis credits for 2.2% of our U.S. GDP? I'm speaking of the outdoor recreation economy, a rapidly growing portion of consumer spending that by conservative estimate generates nearly $20 million a year in Ashland and Bayfield counties. I believe that our business best serves the interests of young professionals, families, and established residents of our area. Let me show you why. Today, 4.6 million Americans are climbing regularly, and participation in our sport is projected to grow when it is featured in next year's Olympic Games. Today, the top 20 fastest growing businesses in the United States, NASDAQ ranks sport and fitness centers second overall. Using data collected from the 455 gyms that currently operate in the United States, the Climbing Wall Association published $600 million in gross revenues for the industry this year and projects that number to reach $1 billion by 2021. Developers are noticing these trends and are looking for ways to develop infrastructure like that of Ashland's historic downtown. Our business is uniquely positioned to develop physical assets. And through partnerships and community engagement, we have the opportunity to grow our area. Project North already enjoys strong community support through enthusiastic conversations with community leaders and over 200 engagements on our Facebook page, Ashland, Wisconsin Needs a Climbing Gym. We seek to model ourselves over businesses like Brooklyn Boulders, a company that started in the former warehouse of a Manhattan-based newspaper and has found an innovative way of catering to its market. By incorporating climbing with co-working spaces, the gym attracts entrepreneurs and young professionals who testify that the puzzle-solving nature of the sport helps to encourage innovation, develop partnerships, and stimulate business growth. After all, climbing is a community activity. To use nomenclature of the sport, boulder climbers share information to help each other work on hard projects. Lead climbers gather in small teams in order to take on big problems. After all, by its nature, climbing is a community activity. Our business offers the opportunity for professional development and for team building exercises. Youth will also have the opportunity to develop life skills that can be applied in any situation. By its nature, climbing teaches balance, coordination, teamwork, and communication. climbing has a proud history of mentorship and leadership development, traditions that everyone can benefit from. Climbing is adaptive and makes no barriers to participation. Paraplegic climbers scale the 3,000-foot walls of Yosemite's National Park. Veterans of the sport climb well into their 70s, and deconditioned athletes reach inspiring new goals. At Project North, we believe that everyone deserves access to the inspiration, achievement, and healthful lifestyle that climbing represents. Our management team's combined experience includes 20 years of climbing all outdoor and indoor disciplines, including boulder, rock, and ice. We have experience developing programming for youth and adult groups, and are certified in indoor climbing instruction, as well as over a decade of outdoor adventure guiding. By encouraging physical activity and outdoor recreation, it is our mission to stimulate community resilience in the Chequamegon Bay by providing a place for community to gather, collaborate, and play. If you are a venture capitalist, a community leader, or just inspired about climbing, please show your support this evening by voting for our business. If you'd like to contact me directly, you may do so by emailing checkbayclimbs@gmail.com. Thank you for your time, and please vote for Project North.
How many clients would you intend to have per year?
Per year, that's hard to say based on the fact that our region is developing outdoor climbs. Based on the calculations that I've done, using that figure of 4.6 million for the nation, that gives us around 500 potential climbers for our area.
I have a two-part question, if I may. You mentioned partnerships in the community. I'm interested in you expanding on that a little bit. And then you described a lot of the value of climbing, and we certainly understood that from your presentation, but I'd like to know more of your business plans for success.
So as far as community partnerships, I've begun talking with leaders in the Ashland City Council about using established city resources in order to be an incubator for our business. While it is our goal to purchase and develop more of the buildings downtown, that would require outside investment or scalability from success based on our model. Could you repeat the second part of your question, please?
More specifically, what are your business plan on how you're going to succeed both short-term and long-term?
Well, again, you heard all about the value of climbing. We don't expect that there will be any issue with attracting people to using our facility. Our main focus will be to educate our community on what climbing is and how it can be utilized for more than just a physical activity. And as that interest grows, we can use that to develop our business both in terms of physical scale and by developing into doing youth club programs, attracting competitions from USA Climbing, an area collegiate teams like up in Duluth or over in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We also have the opportunity to start guiding outdoor trips.
So I'm not sure if I understand this. You're looking to guide people on outdoor climbs as well as build an indoor climbing facility? Is that true?
Outdoor guiding will be a long-term goal of our facility. The initial goal is to develop the gym, use that as a resource for people to start honing their skills, and then as our market asks for, we can build out into that next phase.
And then one follow-up question. So for the facility that you'd open, what would the days of the week, the hours, how do you envision that being? Like from what age until what age are you serving? Is it more serious climbers or birthday party for kids? You know, I'm just curious what your vision is for this.
Yes, absolutely, all of that. So a typical day, we probably open between the hours of 8:30 and 9, and then starting in the morning, we'd be taking in youth groups, so pre-K and younger, birthday parties, field trips, opportunities for folks who aren't working a 9-to-5 job who come in and use our facility. As the day goes on, climbing gyms tend to see a lull in the afternoons. So off-peak hours, the strategy there is generally to offer discounts on access. And then as you get into the later parts of the day when people are getting off work, that's where we'd see regular climbers coming in. Between the hours of 3:30 and 5, doing youth programs, so our youth club, our competitive climbers, taking in adult climbers after that, doing classes if that is the customers want, or just offering free climbing. As far as days of the week open, we would be a 6 to 7 day a week operation.
Anybody in the audience have a question? There's one way back there. I think we have one minute.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I have a question. I'm wondering if you have two questions quickly. If you have talked to the community, because the Ashland School District, Northland College, and the hospital have all been working on some sort of community like this also. And how would you work this in this community, because you are looking at a 90+ poverty area? What are your prices? How is it going to reach down to the people who are in the 30% profile?
Really quickly, yes, I have talked to Northland College and the Writing Center. I was not aware of the hospital being interested in this resource, but it's certainly something I'll look into.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, next we have Uptown Toodaloo Glass, Lori Anderson. Uptown Toodaloo Glass will be a hand-blown glass studio in Ashland. It will provide classes, demonstrations, and one-of-a-kind gifts. Welcome, Lori.
Hello, I'm Lori Anderson, here to present to you Uptown Toodaloo Glass, a hand-blown glass studio. Molten glass, the same temperature as lava, just waiting to be twirled up by a steel pipe and turned into an amazing creation. Whatever you can think up, by using tools or breath, and of course, heat. I want to share with you a story about a girl who has always loved creating things, from forts to crafts, which as she got older, moved on to painting, cake decorating, sewing, you name it, she tried it. Always up for learning new things became her motto. Then one day, not too long after moving to Ashland just about 9 years ago, she saw a small ad about taking a glass blowing class. Why not, she said, that sounds fun. Well, as soon as she tried it, she was hooked. Back and forth she drove many miles to class after class, sometimes over 200 miles each way, as there is so much to learn and so many new things to try. Unfortunately, all those miles and time away from home became really difficult for her and her family. And not being able to blow glass frequently enough to keep advancing her skills or have enough items to participate in events was frustrating. This frustration, combined with the love and passion she had developed for glassblowing, ended up turning into a dream, and then a plan to build her own glassblowing studio right here in Ashland. Over the last 7 years, she has never given up and continued to work on her plan, piece by piece, even though it has been challenging with many setbacks and big price tags. Now, the studio is nearly complete, and that girl, driven to build her dream, is me. Uptown Tulare Glass will be a unique and one-of-a-kind addition to Ashland. It provides a new year-round opportunity for our own community and visitors of all ages to experience and learn about the art of glass blowing. It's engaging for everyone and mesmerizing to watch. People right now are traveling out of the area to purchase hand-blown glass items, watch a glass blowing demonstration, or participate in glass blowing classes that instead we could have right here. What a fun experience to gather with friends and take a class on how to make a paperweight or a flower. The arts are not only a big part of the economy, it also provides benefits of creativity, imagination, and innovation. So more arts adds more value to our city. STEM in schools is now becoming STEAM to include the arts as part of education focus. Research shows that students with high levels of arts participation outperform other students at nearly every measure, from standardized tests to community participation. And education through the arts has a significant positive effect on learning in general, especially for younger children. Students of the Chequamegon Bay would be able to increase their learning and participation in the arts as they plan to offer educational glassblowing demonstrations and classes for the area's schools and programs. Also, downtown shops will have new locally made products to sell. There will be new options for unique birthday presents, including class gift certificates, colorful flowers and paperweights, unity glass for weddings, lampshades for your new home, memorial glass to remember loved ones, ornaments for the holidays, and pint glasses for your favorite beer. That's just the beginning of the opportunities that Uptown Tulare can provide for our community. The studio itself is in its last stages of development, but this Spark opportunity will help achieve the final steps I've been struggling to complete on my own and get it operational, and also provide the additional equipment needed to start offering classes and demonstrations. What does the future look like for Uptown Tulare? The first step is the Ashland home studio offerings I've talked about today, and future expansion would include a downtown presence with a mobile studio, which is a small glass furnace on wheels that would allow for having fun with glass to come to you or your event. I have not only invested 7 years so far into developing Uptown Tulare, but I'm also invested in this community and put down solid roots here. Uptown Tulare Glass is my passion, and I am so excited to share the magic of glass with you too. Thank you all so much.
Are you looking at hiring any employees or any apprenticeships in the future? Is that your plan for the future?
At this point, I don't have plans to hire any employees. In the future expansion, with the downtown presence where the mobile studio will be located within, there would be opportunities for there to have more open space for gallery time and things like that. Definitely working with students, which is kind of how I got started too. There's opportunities for people if they want to continue their skills past a basic class. They could continue working with me on more of an apprenticeship basis. Yeah.
So with the blown glass industry that the type of business is fairly newer to communities, what's going to make you successful and different to your customers that you either your home studio or to your downtown location?
I think because it is so new and exciting, the interest is really growing. And currently, the nearest studio that has the same opportunities is in Duluth, which has really experienced significant growth to now where they have opened a location in Canal Park. And Netflix is even having a documentary coming up, looking at the glass blowing competition, so definitely the buzz is out there. So I do feel once you get it going and people start experiencing it, it's going to grow. And I think it definitely is something unique that kind of attracts attention to this area as far as for visitors. And I really feel like Ashland really desires similar things for tourists to experience.
Do you have like specific target customers, or how do you, once you open your doors, what's your plan to like sustain, to keep open?
Well, the good thing about glass blowing is that really anyone can experience it. You can either be watching it or be a participant. I definitely would like to work with programs for kids, starting off, with 4-H type programs, running center programs after school, summer school type programs. So I'm able to kind of pool in the resources from the clubs and communities that are already in the city and work towards drawing them and giving them opportunities for classes. I know there's also grants available to help fund those things for those programs, so the cost wouldn't be just onto those programs or groups. So I've already started to talk and look into people that are involved with that. And then otherwise, I think as we promote, kind of market the idea, I think it'll really catch on. Airbnb is another thing that I've looked at as well because they offer experiences. So I think when people are coming to the area, Airbnb is very popular and you can combine that with an experience. So I do think there are a lot of opportunities for drawing in customers and consumers.
So what would be the cost of taking a class for one of these experiences?
I do have to get a little better idea on what my specific cost once the studio is running to help offset that. Currently right now, anywhere between $50 to $75 for a class. That usually lasts anywhere between 1 hour to an hour and a half. And you get to keep everything that you make. And that's kind of the price point that I'm thinking of at this point. But with being a smaller studio versus a bigger studio where I'm kind of getting these costs from now, it may be less, depending on my costs for the equipment running.
We have a minute and a half left. Anybody have a question?
I don't really need a mic. How close are you to fruition with your project?
And
So
actually,
what is this going to do for you?
good question. I'm actually very close to completing. I've had some setbacks with some equipment costs that have been a little bit unexpected. So I anticipate, with this opportunity, to be able to open the doors by this fall or winter, with the latest being spring, and that's just giving a little bit of leeway depending upon the last bit of construction projects I have to do. Because from past experience, I know construction projects can get delayed. So it is very close and in its final stages.
Do we have time for one more? One more. How did you come up with your name? Is the question.
Yes, good question. So music is a big part of my life, and the name actually comes from 2 words of my favorite song. So it's kind of combining 2 of my very favorite things together. So it just really made sense and made a connection with me.
All right. Thank you, Lori.
Okay. Next, we have Sheila Desjardins, Superior Sprout. Superior Sprout is a children and babies boutique. We specialize in hand-chosen, high-quality maternity, children's and baby toys, clothing, and other items. The mission of Superior Sprout is to strengthen families by providing unique experiences and memories.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Sheila Desjardins, and I am the owner of Superior Sprout. Before we get started with the presentation, I'd like to poll the audience very quickly. Please raise your hand if any of these statements apply to you, and keep your hand up till the end. Please raise your hand if you're a parent or a grandparent. Please raise your hand if you're a caregiver to a child, or someone in your immediate or extended family has a child that you know. Please raise your hand if someone in your community or neighborhood, your workplace, has a child that you know. And last, and most importantly for this presentation, raise your hand if you are a child. Thank you so much. That is so exciting to see. Pay close attention because this presentation is specifically for everyone who rose their hand. I'd like to start by talking a little bit of the demographics of the Chequamegon Bay. About 20% of the population in Ashland and Bayfield County is under the age of 18. Additionally, there's a strong need for daycare for young children, and I believe that is a direct result for increased recruitment of young families like myself to make this area their permanent home. There's about 120 days of precipitation in this area, and finally, there's an increase to tourism, about a 3% direct increase increase in spend between 2016 and 2017. After looking at these demographics and becoming a mother myself, I realized that there was a large hole in the market for a specialty baby and children's store. Additionally, as my daughter became a toddler, and we had those 120 days of precipitation and that week of minus 30-degree weather in January, I realized that there wasn't a lot to do indoors that was specifically geared to children. My solution to this problem is to open a specialty baby and children's store. We will focus on hand-chosen, high-quality, new and loved again, maternity, baby, children's, clothing, toys, and other items. These items will have a focus on inspiring creativity and imagination while also developing a child's mind and body. What is most unique about this store is what I'm calling the community space. This is a space when the weather is not ideal, you can come in when the store is open, pay a fee between $5 and $20, and they'll be ready to go crafts and activities. This could be making a drum that you could bring home or a seasonal or holiday craft like an ornament around the holidays. Additionally, I'd love to partner with artists and offer classes that are specifically geared to small children. This could be a painting class, a sewing class, or a photography class. There's a lot of great classes for adults, but nothing that are really specifically geared for children. This store is going to be all about kids. They're going to be welcomed with open arms to play and experience all of the toys. And how rare is it these days that a kid can go into a store and completely be themselves without worrying about anything. They can laugh and be loud. Finally, customer service is going to be exceptional. We're going to have various loyalty programs. We're going to have a toy buyback program to help parents trade up to the next toy as their child grows. And finally, what I'm most excited about is a birthday registry for children. They can come in the month of their birthday, pick out all the toys they want to receive, put them on a registry, and share that with their friends and family. I think a store like this is going to be a huge benefit to our area. First and foremost, and closest to my heart, is giving back to the community. I would like to partner with the New Day Shelter, whose mission is very close to what I'm doing. I want to provide for those families who are going through a very difficult time in their life who may not be able to provide their children with these luxuries otherwise. Additionally, I would like to source as much inventory as possible from local artists and craftspeople. There are so many great craftspeople in this area, and one we will hear from next, that have great children's products that I would love to offer our customers, in addition to help support their local business and our community. The community-focused space is what I'm most excited about and really feel to be a cornerstone for our children. Not only are you creating experiences and memories and building that family unit away from media and technology, we are also investing in our children. And I firmly believe that if we invest in our children today, it is going to pay dividends to our community in the future. Finally, it's going to keep dollars local. I know myself, I've traveled to the other larger cities to buy things for my daughter because I want to see it, I want to touch it before I give it to her, and I also want sometimes a higher quality item. It's also going to give the visitors to our area another shop to invest their dollars in our community. This last slide just shows a really brief of what the feel is for my store. It is open, it's bright, and it's all about kids. A ton of interactive play spaces, but still working in some of those natural elements from the Schwaben Bay area that we love. Finally, a little bit about me. I moved here about 2 years ago. I have close to 15 years of business experience, which is really going to be helpful for this, and I am passionate about this community. Thank you for your time, and vote Superior Sprout.
Will this be like a daycare service, or do you have some activities that the parents will do with the kids?
So it's not really a daycare service because there's definitely insurance and legal issues about providing care for children. But it's definitely something that the children can do on their own depending on their age while the parents shop around. But it's really intended for the parents and the children to do together. I'm all about building a family unit and getting parents and children to make memories together. I feel like these days that's something that may not be happening as much as parents jumping in with children, and that's really my intent. But if they feel uncomfortable or don't want to, there will be activities that they can complete on their own, depending on the age.
Did you say where the store would be located?
Pardon?
Did you say where you would be located?
No, I did not. That is something that I'm currently working on right now. To me, the location is really pivotal to the success of my business. I need really great foot traffic, and I need a space that's not only safe, but really fits the aesthetic and the feel that I'm going for. So right now, I'm currently in the process of looking at what space is available and what spaces might be available in the future and how I might fit those into my plans, because I don't want to rush that process. I don't want to move into some place that may not be ideal and not be as successful, because I want this store to be around for a long time.
So you talked a little bit on your slides about tourism, but then also about the weather that we get here. How are you going to market specifically to the tourists that come to this area?
Well, I think a lot of it is the location. At the beginning, because tourists only come for a short period of time, you know, it's going to allow to be that foot traffic of walking by. But I really like to partner with the chambers and get my name in there and that information that they provide to all the visitors that come to this area. Additionally, you know, there's your basic flyers and things like that. I'm also going to work on social media and hopefully can plug those into some of the chambers who provide that information, so that people come and visit once and they come back again. They can follow us on social media, see what new exciting things are happening, and then hopefully come back and visit us again.
And how specifically would you use the $5,000?
So the $5,000 is really seed money for me. The first part, I would use it to create a market research survey. Because I want my store to really be for the community, I want to make sure that I'm offering things that the community really needs. So I'd like to put together a really great survey, work with the schools in the area, and get this out to as many parents and caregivers of children as possible, because I want to make sure that I'm meeting all of your needs. Additionally, I use the funds to do a down payment on the location, and then whatever left is for your basic startup costs to start preparing inventory. I know that I'm going to need more money than what is in this, and I'm hoping to use some different crowdsourcing fundings and my own personal funds, and then getting some additional money from the bank.
What kind of timeline are you looking at if you were to get this award?
Yeah, sure. So it's a little too fast for this summer. I really want to be open for the summer, because that's when all the kids are out of school and when there's tourism in our area. So my goal would be a year from this coming summer, be completely up and ready to go, which works really great for what I want to do, because I want to create a massive buzz before I actually open my door. I want people to follow me on Instagram and Facebook and go to our website and kind of see what's happening with the store and our life in this area. I am not from here. I moved here about 2 years ago, and the people who don't live here are fascinated with how we live and being on the lake. And so I want to tie some of our lifestyle into that, and also just drown some of those people who aren't local.
I wanted you to talk a little further about the plan itself, because it's so geared to families and kids. Kids go to school the majority of the year, so your business during the week, and would it be more service-oriented where the family can come in and perform activities, or would there be retail involved where you're buying products and reselling them?
Oh yeah, it's definitely both. And kids are in school for 3/4 of the year, but they get done at 3, and they're looking for things to do after school. So that's where my store comes in. They can come in after school, work on these activities. Obviously, the weekends are going to be key. It's going to be both retail sales of new and used items, because I want to make sure that I can cater to our whole economy and not just those who might be able to afford the higher price point items. And additionally, I would like to open the space for any type of family community event. So, like for instance, a mommy and me class, or a music class, or story time. And those may necessarily not generate income from that, but it's getting people into the store. And those could be during the day, during the weeks, for those who aren't, you know, full-time employees.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next person that we have coming up is Adventure Us, Amy Trimble. Adventure Us is a family adventure gear company that also offers custom sewing and repairs. Environmentally and family-focused, owner Amy Trimble is striving to build a business that supports our community, having fun together outside.
thank you everyone for being here. And thank you for offering this opportunity. I know many of you, but there's also a lot that I don't know, and I look forward to meeting you. My name is Amy Turnbull, and I love 4 main things. I love sewing. I love encouraging families to adventure together. I'm passionate about making sure people have the resources they need in order to be happy. And I love this community. So I've taken these 4 things and I've wrapped them up into my small business startup called Adventure Us. I have a line of family outdoor adventure gear, and I do custom sewing and repairs. I will sew anything. Curtains, canvas, costumes, you name it. I just had the opportunity to finish this 2-piece custom snowsuit for local photographer Bob Gross, who is currently field testing it in the Alaskan Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, taking pictures of polar bears. I also do a lot of repairs, a lot of zippers. I believe that good gear is worth repairing, and that we have a responsibility to use what we have before we buy new. That said, I like making new things. I have a line of family adventure gear, including ski hats and scarves, adventure bags, and activewear. I gear my products toward encouraging families to get outside and play together. Studies show that the more fun time we have outside, the more our mental health benefits. One of the hardest times to get outside is winter. If you've ever tried to take a young child out with the snow, you spend the whole time either trying to put their gloves back on or wiping snow off their wrist because there's a gap in between their glove and their sleeve. So I spent over 2 years designing a product to help with this, called Snow Sleeves. And snow sleeves are made out of there we go, stretchy material that fit over any size glove and hug the top sleeve of the jacket to keep gloves on and snow out, so that your kids can stay comfortable and everyone can keep having fun. Not only are they helpful for getting one kid out into the snow, they are particularly helpful for getting groups of kids out into the snow. This past March, I was able to donate 14 pairs of snow sleeves to the Washburn Early Learning Center as a way of saying thank you for taking my kid out into the snow. And they loved them. So I want to get them to more schools, daycares, and outdoor organizations. There's a couple other things that I really love about snow sleeves. They come in a limitless pattern design possibility. So logos, school colors, high visibility, unique, you name it. They're unique, there's nothing like it on the market right now. I can sell them at a price point that's good for the consumer and for the business. And the way that they're designed means that I have the opportunity to create a team of stay-at-home sewists. 9 years ago, when I became a stay-at-home mom, I wanted to be able to take care of my kid and earn an income too. And I want to be able to offer that opportunity to other people. As the business grows, this same material can be made into swimsuits. I want to offer more styles of gear and adventure bags and work on my pattern for rain suits and snowsuits. But I need a couple things first. I need an e-commerce website. I need marketing literature. I need to do photo shoots and build my inventory up so that I can send out strategic donation packages. So mailers with samples and information to regional daycare schools and outdoor organizations, as well as build out several custom local classroom donations where they get 12 pairs of snow sleeves so that I can get their feedback and build awareness. And at the heart of Adventure Us are my core values of sustainability for the environment, in making quality products and a business that's gonna last, having a positive employee work environment, because I'm not making a sweatshop. I want to offer classes and skill training opportunities to our community and especially our youth. And I'm committed to giving over 1% of profits back to our community, because there's no reason in building myself up if I can't build my community up with me. And the only way we're going to do that is by supporting each other, which is why I'm asking for you to vote for me tonight so that we can get adventurous in downtown Washburn.
You gotta follow me too. So tell me about your employee structure. You know, if you're not own and operate manufacturing and retail, what are you looking at for employees?
I would like to have 5 employees within 5 years. Right now, it would be looking at the difference between a 1099 versus an employee. And that really has to do with the legality and whatever's going to be best for that employee and the business in terms of the return on investment. You know, I'm committed to having employees. It's a balance of what I can sell the product for, what I can make in return, and what I can offer them to really support them and make it worth it.
How many of the snow slates have you sold so far, or how many people are utilizing them so far? That
Yeah.
you've given away?
So 50 people, I've given out to 50 people for trial. I've sold 10 of them. I do have a full-time job and 3 young children. So right now, all of my sewing is on the side. But enough market research and field testing for my products that I know that there's a demand for them, and I can sell as many as I can make right now.
Multi-part question. If you were to win the award tonight, how would you use the $5,000? Do you have a place in mind? How soon could you begin startup? Would you leave your current job? So I guess I'm asking a bigger picture.
Yeah, that's okay. So the money really goes to these things. This is what I need immediately in order to launch snow slates in the fall and actually make it happen. A lot of the initial startup is based on the e-commerce website to be able to market regionally.
So I guess the question is, without this winning the award tonight, you're financially strapped as far as starting your business.
No, I do have personal money that's going into it. We are about 2 weeks from closing on this building. Really, the startup money will depend on how soon I can invest more energy into this business.
If I understand you correctly, your employees could possibly also be stay-at-home moms. Would they be working out of their own homes, or would they be bringing their children to this work site? What does that look like?
Initially, they're working out of their own home. These can be made on a home sewing machine.
Other questions?
Anybody? Yay!
I just have a web question.
Yeah.
Are you making them for adults?
The same design does for adults.
Okay.
And then do you have them to cover the boots so then the snow doesn't go in the boots?
I would love to be able to pattern one.
How much time do we have?
2 minutes. Where do you get your fabric and materials?
Good question. So right now there's a couple different sourcing options. One is just the standard order online through fabric distribution companies. I also have a connection with a couple things. One, there is a warehouse outside of Minneapolis that sells overstock or dead stock fabrics. So these are company overruns that are waste from either the mill or the manufacturer of, like Nike, stuff like that. There's also a company that prints within the U.S. any design. So the fabric's not necessarily the most sustainable, but they use environmentally friendly inks, and they print and ship and do all of that in-house in the United States, including make the fabric. Does that kind of answer your question?
Did my exercise.
Yell, listen.
So you were talking about branding them? So it's possible to use them for things like Book Across the Bay?
Yes.
And
Yes, so that same company that makes the fabric and prints in the fabric in the US, you can literally print anything you want on this fabric. One more.
How much inventory do you already have?
I have 30 pairs of snow sleeves made at the moment, but really it depends on how much, well, and then I have another 40 that are cut, they're just not made. So, that's it.
Time's up, I'm so sorry.
I will be available after for questions, check out my table. Yes.
Thank you. So, the votes have been tallied. Thank you again to everybody who came out tonight to show their support. And thank you again to our sponsors. Can we get a round of applause for our sponsors? We would also like to thank Superior Floral, who donated this gorgeous bouquet of flowers for the winner. And with that, if our finalists will please join us up front. Maybe stand up front a little more, else your faces are going to be blinded. So first of all, we want to say that Check Yes is so proud of all of you, and thank you for applying. Thank you to all of our applicants who applied for Spark. We really wanted this event to not only be about presenting the winner with this winnings, but also bringing light to each of you as entrepreneurs and bringing light to your business so that we as a community can come behind you and help build you up. So thank you all. A round of applause, everybody, for our efforts. Real quick, somebody left this bag in the lobby, so whenever you're finished.
It's my son.
Now, what we've all been waiting for, judges, the envelope, please. The winner of the first Check Yes Spark event, $5,000 and winner's package goes to Adventurous.
Out to a lot of you, and I'm just overwhelmed by how many people showed up. So thank you so much. It really is for everyone. So thank you.
Thank you to everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed Spark. Check out more to come from Check Yes, and we hope to see you at our events later this week.
What's in the package?
Oh, and the business or the winner's package includes, I'll read it off for you, entrepreneurial consulting from Andy Donahue at the Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Development, branding package from Busy Does It, legal consultation from Hawkins Law Office, financial planning from Thrivent Financial, Ashley Moore, and one-year chamber memberships to Ashland Area Chamber of Commerce, Washburn Area Chamber of Commerce, and Bayfield Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Congratulations.